I am missing you at all. Oh no, you're having a laugh. You're having a laugh. Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. We're live. It's Champions League night 2 and it's Bayern Munich against Manchester City. Could we get a massive shock? I hope so. I bloody hope so. I would love to see Manchester City get knocked out. I don't think we will, but I'd love to see it. I really, really would. I was just laughing actually. I mean, in very little time, it could get even funnier, but I was just, let me just tell you what I find funny. I'll get you this stats carousel rolling round as well, so you can have a look at what the team news are for the game tonight. But looking forward to this one. I'd love Bayern to get an early goal just to make it a little bit interesting, but I think City probably do have the capabilities of winning this one with a 3-0 lead. You'd certainly expect it. But yeah, well, to be honest, it's not as funny as it was, to be honest. I'll tell you in a minute. It's fine. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the teams. Hope you're all doing well. Any chance of a Bayern win tonight? I think there's a chance of a Bayern win, but I don't think they'll be able to turn round 3-0. I think Man City defensively are very good, and I can't remember the last time Man City conceded 3 goals. So I think that's always going to be the problem. But the lineups: Sommer, Pavard, Upamecano. I mean, why would you pick up Upamecano again? He's shite. I mean, the fact that they've picked Upamecano again is hilarious. I mean, they've actually got well, I suppose their bench isn't that good in relation to centre-backs. I don't know whether Daley Blind would be the right sort of player to play. But Upamecano, De Ligt, Cancelo, Alphonso Davies is on the bench. Kimmich and Goretzka again, Sane, Musiala and Koeman. And he's gone with Choupo-Moting up front. Manchester City, Ederson, Aki, Diaz, Akanji, Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Haaland and Grealish. Of course, John Stones, I forgot about him as well. So I think that's pretty much the team that started in the last game. So, yeah, that's how they're lining up in that game, which is interesting, I suppose. So there we go. Have a quick look here. Expecting a Kanji red card, says Sitimba. Well, I'm going to read that out because I'm not expecting an Akanji red card tonight. Mark, did you hear that Gary Neville agreed with the FA about the linesman decision, says Cameron? Well, each to their own. Each to their own. It's up to them if they want to do that, isn't it? I don't mind. Up to them. It's always about decisions. I mean, I presume we're talking about the linesman where he put his hand up on the player. You know, it's one of those, isn't it? I heard a lot of people agreeing that the FA got it right, but I think the FA have got so much wrong recently, and I think if a player went like that, they would have got a red card and a fine, and a ban. So one rule for one and one rule for the other. Tell me it doesn't make sense, because it doesn't make sense. Who's Man United's biggest competition in the Europa League, says Eugene? Sevilla. Get through Sevilla first. And what do you think Chelsea should do, says Cano? I'd book a holiday and start again in July. I think what Chelsea definitely should do is avoid the Conference League. So, and I think, to be honest, I don't think you're good enough for the Conference League this year. So if I was a Chelsea fan, my only concern would be that there's some reaction and those unreliable players this season somehow start winning some games and then you end up in the Conference League. Chelsea next season are a prime example of where Man United were last season, where we were doing better than you, to be fair, but we were really flirting with Conference League, and it was only because West Ham imploded. I don't think we won that. I think we lost our last 3 games and we still got Europa League football. If we'd have been in the Conference League, that would have been a bloody nightmare. I know you get revenue for being in Europe, and sometimes players don't like at the highest level to have weeks off and that, but I think from a Conference League point of view, Chelsea would be better off not having it. I'm a City fan, but I love Mark Goldbridge, says Bog. And Ben Webster, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. What's your thoughts on Haaland's injury worry because he got hurt in the warm-up? Is that true? I don't know whether that's true. That's from Zaber. I wouldn't be risking him if I was Ten Hag. Not Ten Hag. If I was Pep, I wouldn't risk him because you've got... I mean, look, they've got a bye to the final. They've got Sheffield United at the weekend. They could play the kids against them. But they have got Arsenal in a week. So I wouldn't be risking Haaland. But then again, Pep probably thinks he's fine without Haaland. You know, he could play Alvarez. So Bayern are going to come back into this, says Joe. I would love it if Bayern could come back into it. I thought for many parts of the game last week they were the better footballing side, but they couldn't break Man City down. And you know, I think Wrexham would have broken Bayern down. They were terrible defensively. Andrew Grange, if Newcastle get Champions League football, will they be knocked out in the group stage? Not sure they have the squad for it, says Andrew. Well, I think Newcastle are going to have a very interesting summer, aren't they? Can they progress into the Champions League over the next few weeks? And if they do, why wouldn't they spend money? So I think that's what they need to do. Is if they get Champions League football, they need to have a squad to do it. And we all know that Newcastle have got, you know, very rich owners. They're richer than the Abu Dhabi Man City owners. So I wouldn't worry about it. What's your score predictions? As I'm a Chelsea fan, I think it might be a draw. You know, I can see like a 1-1 or a 2-2, but I don't know that Bayern are good enough to beat Man City, and I think Man City. I think it's a shame that they could look. Tuchel and Bayern were very naive last week because when it went to 1-0, they should have shut up shop and brought it back here. 2-0, you've still got a chance, but the third goal was really, really stupid, and I think that they've damaged their chances a bit. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way, bottom right hand corner, and don't forget that we are. If you want to do a super chat, you can do that through the $sign. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. I just saw something there, and I wouldn't mind doing a few of these tonight. Anyway, there was a bench keep sell for Manchester City, and I wouldn't mind doing a few clubs. So if you want to give me trios at points, and we'll continue with the team of the season at half time. Remember, we did the back five last night, so we'll move on to the midfield. Somebody just said bench, keep, sell, and it was Haaland, De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva, which I thought was quite interesting because I think they are three very, very important players, and I'd say Bernardo Silva is very, very underrated. Bench, keep, sell. I probably would sell Bernardo Silva because of the importance of De Bruyne and Haaland, so that's quite easy. Bench, I've done that wrong anyway. Let me just say that again. Start, bench, sell. So start, bench, sell is what I should have said. Start, bench, sell. You're absolutely right, Karima. So start, bench, sell for Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland. I would sell Bernardo Silva, not because I think he's a bad player, just because I think De Bruyne and Haaland are more valuable. I would bench, and this is going to be controversial, Erling Haaland, and I would start Kevin De Bruyne. And I will explain why before people start moaning. Erling Haaland is without doubt one of the best strikers in the world, but Man City have won multiple titles. They're going for their third title. So I would go with the impact that Kevin De Bruyne has on that team and the history and evidence he's got. Now, ask me that in a year's time, and if Man City have won a treble and their first Champions League, then I think Erling Haaland's use to the team maybe exceeds that of Kevin De Bruyne. But right here, right now, I bench Erling Haaland, I sell Bernardo Silva, and I start Kevin De Bruyne. We'll do another one in a minute. Thoughts on council tax, Mark, says Joe. We all need this. These council services to run society, I suppose. You know, I'm not opposed to paying your way, if that's what you mean. Move on. Everyone's sleeping on Bayern, says Awoken. I really hope that we are sleeping on Bayern. I would bloody love it if we're sleeping on Bayern. I would love to see a Bayern Munich comeback. But you know what? I don't think we will. I really don't. I think they've left themselves too much to do. I'd love to see it, though. It would be incredible. It would be absolutely fantastic. But ultimately, I don't think we're going to see it happen. What the fuck's going on here? Shut up! Bloody idiot. Stand by me. Mark, do you think Villa will get European football? Says Dan. Thoughts on tax evasion, says Aidan. I'm not getting into these sort of conversations. I will talk about Villa in Europe. I think Aston Villa have got a great chance of getting into Europe. But remember, they have got some really difficult games. But they just seem to be hungry at the moment. And I think at this time of this, season, you can really make big strides if you are hungry. Because there's a lot of teams that are tired. There's a lot of teams that want the season over. So I think Aston Villa can have a really good chance. But they've got some tough games. They've got United, they've got Liverpool, both away. I think they've got to play Brighton, and I think they've got to play Spurs as well. Do you want City to win the treble? Oh yeah, Ajit, I bloody love it. You know what? I'll bloody love it. I'd sell my dog for Man City to win the treble. In fact, I wouldn't even sell it. You can have it. Oh yeah, I'd love Man City to win the bloody treble. Of course I bloody don't. In fact, I saw something on TalkSport today. It was a question topic for idiots. Would Man City's treble be more worthy than Manchester United's? And as I said on Twitter earlier, you know what? If your missus goes with your best mate first, but then marries you, are you going to ever move past the fact that your missus was with your best mate, or your husband with your best mate? Let's be equal. You're not going to be happy about it, are you? Because they were first. You're second. The bloke who climbed Everest second, is that more noteworthy than the person who did it first? I mean, look, if Man City win a treble, fine, but we're still the ones who did it first, and there is something to be said for doing it first. And also, we didn't do it first with 100 FA charges on our shoulders either. Whether they've proven true or not, they're still there. What prescription are your glasses, mate? Don't know. Been asked this question so many times, Joe. Don't know. And to be honest with you, don't massively care. I went to the doctors and guess what they told me? You've come to the wrong place. We don't do anything about glasses. You need to go to an optician's. But no, I don't know. I went to the opticians. They ran a few tests, funnily enough, on my eyes, and they said, you need glasses. I said, fine. And I bought some. I don't need details about stuff like, I'm a long or short-sighted. Just make me see a bit better. Right, we're about to start off here. Do you think Chelsea will get relegated, Chris? Absolutely not. I think that's a topic for idiots as well. Let's get ready to rumble. Well, the referee's not even on the pitch here. You can't start a game without a ref. Although in the Premier League it'd probably be a better game. But still waiting for the ref. All the players are ready to go. He's the invisible man. He's like Havertz up front for Chelsea. No, there's Oliver Kahn. Was that Salahamovic with his... he's got a beard now. Didn't have that when he was playing. Still waiting on the ref here. Apologies. I don't know why I'm apologising. It's got nothing to do with me. He's having a shit, apparently. The referee is having a poo. He went on the pitch and said, you know what? I'm feeling a bit heavy. I think I need to squeeze one out. And apparently he's just ran into the toilets to have a quick poo. Honestly. Atmosphere sounds great, Jamil. That's a true story. He's gone for a dump. Thoughts on Gakpo? I think he's settled in great, says Ajit. I do like... I wanted Gakpo at Manchester United, so I'm not going to suddenly pretend I don't think he's a decent player. Same about Nunez. Okay, so we're going to be 5 minutes late kicking off here because the referee didn't organise his bowels before he came on. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Champions League game and the referee's having a crap. Huge atmosphere, yeah. Of course, Pep used to be the manager here, didn't he? This is shocking, isn't it? Really, having all the players on the pitch like that, ready to go. Footy Trivia says, "Is it actually true?" Well, what? Well, I have. Here he is. 10 stone lighter. Actually, that'd be a hell of a shit if it was 10 stone lighter. He starts the game. He just walks on like normal. I hope he's washed his hands. I wouldn't shake it. Okay, we're up and running now anyway. Bayern is buzzing, says Dave. Can they do it? Well, it's perfect for Man City because Man City will just do what they did at the Etihad, which is they know that Bayern will leave space at the back and they'll try and get into situations where they can have a 4v4 on the break, and that's what will happen. I mean, look at the press of Man City here. It's very good. Would you fancy a visit to the Allianz? Says Juan. Yeah, preferably for a game. I wouldn't really want to go for an empty stadium tour. Only one word for refs these days, and it begins with a capital T, says Mike. Turds. The referee does look like Trossard, so hopefully he'll be against City. What a game that's going to be this time next week, by the way. What a watch-along that's going to be. Manchester City against Arsenal. Basically going to decide the title, isn't it? If we're being completely honest, that decides the title. Because if Man City win that, they won't not win again. I enjoyed doing that bench, start, sell. I'm going to do another one in a minute. I just need recommendations for clubs, bench, start, sell. We've done a Man City one, so we can do another one in a minute. Cross comes in. Ooh, good defending by John Stones. That would have been a great start for Bayern. Really good cross. Choupo-Moting was there waiting. But the clock's not on. Sorry, it is on, but I've just not put it on. There you go. 2 minutes in. Terrible ball. Hi, Mark. Super chat here from Govind. He says, what do you think? Will Madrid knock out City in the Champions League or Arsenal win title over City? I don't care who does it. Just don't want to City treble. I'd put Man City as favourites in both. Yeah, I'd put City as favourites to beat Arsenal next week because they're at home. And I would put them... I'd put Man City as favourites over Real Madrid as well. Be a good game. Both of them will be good games. Harry Edmonds says Arsenal bench, start, sell, Odegaard, Saka, Jesus. Okay, I'll do that one in a minute. Thank you very much. We'll line that one up. Bayern are going to be 3-3 by half time. Neil's done a bench, start, sell for Brighton, McAllister, Casino and Matoma. I'll do that one as well. So apologies about Twitch, by the way. I completely intended to do it yesterday and then something came up. And today I was going to try and do it, but I had like 3 or 4 meetings and things going on today. I just ran out of time. I mean, I don't know whether you've ever had those days where you're just so busy and popular and making so much money that you don't even have to get time to have something to eat. That's the sort of stuff I do on tour. Probably doesn't go down well with YouTubers, to be honest, because they don't get sarcasm. No, I was really busy today. I was absolutely starving. I had 2 meetings to go, and one of them was my probation, and one of them was for a speed awareness course. But I was starving, absolutely starving. Bench, start, sell. Don't consume me, Miles. Don't confuse me, Miles. He's now going with Toma, McAllister, and Ferguson. And I've got a Liverpool one as well, Salah, Diaz, Gakpo. I will try and go through some of these. Right, I'm going to do some now because this game's just... Okay, I'll do that one. I'll do that Arsenal one first. So, Arsenal, bench, start, sell, Jesus, Saka, and... was it Odegaard? So, I would... Bloody hell, that's a tough one. I would sell... Jesus. Oh, Goldbridge, can't believe it. I would sell Jesus. I would bench Odegaard. And I would start Saka. And I'll explain why. I think they're all really important players, but that's why it's interesting. I believe Odegaard and Saka are more important to Arsenal than Jesus, even though he's fantastic. And I would bench Odegaard and start Saka because I think Odegaard's fantastic and brilliant, but I think Saka is more important to Arsenal. He is Arsenal, and on top of that, the way his mentality from missing that penalty in the Euros to today over the last 2 years has been magnificent. So I just think Saka represents what Arsenal's all about. So I would sell Jesus, I would bench Odegaard, and I would start Saka on that one. A few people disagreeing. Simon says he'd start Odegaard and bench Saka, which is fine. It's close. Mark, would you force an under 12 player to complete their season, even if they say it's too hard, it's too strict, it's too hot, too cold? Thoughts? I don't know what the context is. Desert. Scholes, Zidane, and Xavi. Bench, start, sell. Well, Ashley. I would sell Xavi, I would bench Scholes, and I would start Zidane just on who I preferred the best out of those three. I mean, look, I love Scholes, Ashley, but Zidane's probably one of the best players I've seen. Midfielders for me, Zidane's up there with Gascoigne as probably the two best attacking midfielders I've seen in my life, really. Come on, Bayern, says Mark. Yeah, we've only had 5 minutes here, but I wouldn't be too panicky if I was Bayern. You want to keep the momentum going, and you want to be making opportunities. Of course you do, but I really think as long as you score before half time, 2 goals in the second half is fine. You want to make a night of it, don't you? You don't want to be drinking all your beer in the first 10 minutes. You want to make a night of it. You want this to be an all-nighter. You're prepared for extra time, etc. Hi, Mark. Who do you think will take over Chelsea in the summer after Lampard? Says Adrian. Thank you very much for your super chat. I think it will be Nagelsmann. Giggs, Scholes, and Beckham, says Rebecca. What? Bench, start, sell. Giggs, Beckham, and who was it? Giggs, Beckham, and Scholes. Oh. I sell Ryan Giggs. I bench Paul Scholes, and I start David Beckham, because Beckham's one of my favourite players. Scholes is better than Beckham as a footballer, but I just love David Beckham. I think his mentality, he'd always give you 100%, and he's just one of my favourite players. Ryan Giggs was fantastic, but I preferred Scholes and Beckham, so yeah. Yeah, I think the Nagelsmann will get the job. Bruno, Rashford and Martinez. Horrible question to answer as a Man United fan, says Ollie. Well, let's just hold off on some of these at the moment, because there is a match going on. Shreeman says bench, start, and bench. Goldbridge, Silverbridge, and Copperbridge. Well, Goldbridge has got to start. There's no doubt about that. Did you ever watch Robert Przonecki? What a player, says PT. He was the one with the blonde beard, wasn't he? Very good player. Played for Croatia. I think he played for... I'm trying to think what club teams he played for. I definitely think he went to Barca. Lovely ball in. Koeman. He's got to find the cross. Good. Well, he's overdone it. Which is a shame. But Sane will keep it in on the other side. I don't think Man City are going to get done on crosses, to be honest. But Bayern have had the opportunity of putting a few crosses in. And that's probably because Man City are quite comfortable giving up crosses. Przonecki played for Portsmouth. Yeah, if you can tell us what other clubs he played for, I definitely think he was at Barca, but I don't think that's the club I can remember him from mainly. Where did Przonecki play? Did he play Serie A? I've got to check myself now. He's the assistant coach at the moment. Well, he played for quite a range of clubs. He played for Red Star Belgrade. That was his most appearances. He was at Real Madrid. He was at Barcelona, but only for a short period of time. Hold on, here's Kingsley Coman. The cross isn't good enough again, but Man City clear it. So he played for Real Madrid more than he played for Barcelona. Played for Sevilla, Portsmouth, Standard Liège, Croatia, Zagreb. But yeah, he did play for Barca, Sevilla, and Real Madrid. Never played in Italy. There we go. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Kingsley Coman's had a good start, Jack Gal, but his crosses haven't really been what you would want. 3 opportunities and not picked out a red shirt yet. For Newcastle, would Cancelo, Maddison, Milinkovic-Savic, Kim Min-jae and McTominay be a good summer? I think they're all attainable and decent signings, says Robble. I think they're all good signings for where next stage of Newcastle, yeah. Mateus didn't mince his words about Kane. He's absolutely correct, as Enjoy Writing. Yeah, so Luther Mateus said about Harry Kane, he's too expensive and too old for Real Madrid, for Bayern Munich. Interesting fact from Jacob. He says, did you know that Ipswich are the only team to not be beaten by a European team at home? There we go. Inter have scored as well, which I think puts them up 3-0 on aggregate. Mason says, how's your day? I'm tired today, mate. And I don't know why. I just don't know why anymore. Yellow card for a Bayern player, Cancelo. Don't be doing any favours for your old club. It was a yellow as well. So he did. Dylan, he agrees with you. He said, first yellow card for first tackle, but it did look like a yellow card tackle. I don't know why I didn't start Alphonso Davies. Although Alphonso Davies did have a worryingly bad game, didn't he, at the Etihad? Barella, you can stand under my umbrella. You're trying hard to put me in my place. That is why I gotta keep running. This ref did Barca United at the new camp and he's useless, says Elliot. Thanks very much for that, Elliot. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. I'm just checking how many we're doing on the channel at the moment. We're on the road to 940. We're only 300 away from 940, so let's see if we can hit that tonight. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, get involved. You're very welcome on That's Football, no matter who you support. You're very welcome indeed. Thanks for tuning in. Buy, sell, bench, Kent, Goldbridge or Proctor, says Chris Kane. If you know, you know. You'd have to sell Proctor, bench Kent and start Goldbridge. What a career mode that was. Oh, it almost brings a tear to my eye. Almost brings a tear to my eye. Well, foul off the ball on Kingsley Coman there. I think it should have been a red. Could have killed him. If that's Casemiro, he gets a lifetime ban. Bench, start, sell, Chinese, Indian, fish and chips. Ooh, well, I'm selling fish and chips because it's just too stodgy these days. And based on my mood tonight, I think I'm benching Indian and then I'm starting Chinese takeaway. I just feel like something a little bit sweeter. So I'd probably go for chow mein, sweet and sour chicken, some prawn crackers, egg fried rice. Yeah, that's probably what I'm in the mood for. But catch me tomorrow, and I might want a butter chicken and a bit of naan and some chicken pakora. That career mode was elite. That first ever TUSFC career mode. What a career mode that was. In fact, I might watch some highlights tonight. It needs turning into a series for Netflix. De Bruyne. Oh, good cross. Sommer gets on it. Jack says start, bench, sell, Rooney, Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie. Good cross by De Bruyne. Well done by Sommer. Gundogan was very close. I would sell, begrudgingly, I would sell Van Persie. I would bench Van Nistelrooy and I would start Rooney. Just on Man United status. Here we go. Another bad cross from the right for Bayern Munich. They've got to get better with their crossing. Is that good defending, though? Or is it just poor crossing? Kiss, shag or marry, Weghorst, McTominay and Maguire. Connor, I'm never answering that. I actually thought you were going to give me good options. Man United 1-0 up at half-time in the Women's Super League with Russo scoring. Thanks for that, Prince. And will the FIFA career mode be on YouTube? Love from Dublin, says Rari. What, the one I'm doing at the moment? No. Angry Brit has just gifted 10 memberships. What a legend you are, Angry Brit. Thank you very much. I didn't know what I was clicking there, and I thought it was just going to be a super chat. Well done. Absolutely fantastic. Legend, Angry Brit. So 15 minutes gone here. I think Man City are starting to grow into this game a little bit. That might be a tactic by Bayern to... lovely ball in behind. Sane, he's got to score this. And he's missed it. Fucking hell, mate. You've got to score that. 1-on-1. He's got to score that. Got to score that. You can't miss chances like that. And that's why Man City are going to end up going through. Because you won't get many chances like this. And if you score that, the crowd erupts. You're through 1-on-1. It's just bad miss, that. John Stones can't catch him. And he's put it wide. Agent Sane, says Jack. Yeah. You never know, they might get another shot, but no wonder Mane punched him. Pratt. Now De Bruyne. I tell you what, if Haaland gets that chance, he won't miss. Start, bench, sell. Salah, Kane and Rashford, says Noz. I still haven't done that Liverpool one. I need to come back to that. Start, bench, sell. Salah, Kane and Rashford. Well, look, I believe they're all very top players. But for my style of play, I would honestly sell Kane, bench Rashford and start Salah. Just on pure footballing ability. I know he plays for Liverpool, but I think Mo Salah's massively underrated for some reason. Haaland's got to be offside here. Oh, Upamecano's been sent off. Game over. Offside. What's this referee doing? What? He's Ronnie Pickering. He's Ronnie Pickering. What's this referee doing? It was so clearly offside. Unless VAR's got it wrong. I can't speak. So, Haaland was clearly offside. Upamecano chases him, trips him up, and the referee runs over with a red. But it's so obvious that, well, I tell you what, it's not as close as you think. Very lucky. I mean, it was offside, definitely. I knew it was offside, but it was closer than I thought. And he's now gone and booked Tuchel as well. Trossard is having a stinker, I think. It's been cancelled. Well, you know, I'd have switched it off. There's no point watching it. Well, we could have just done loads of bench keep sells. I would have probably... The game would have been over then. 3-0 down and down to 10 men. Casemiro, Martinez or De Gea, keep, sell or loan, says Ray. Keep, sell or loan. I don't like that one. I like keep, bench, sell. It's more controversial. Lovely ball down the wing here for Kingsley Coman. He's done really well against Aki. That didn't get the ball. Book him. Book him. Aki should be booked there. You booked Cancelo. Referee's a Man City fan, definitely. Definitely a Man City fan. It's not Trossard. How's that not a yellow card, but Cancelo's was? Where's the consistency, ref? Start, bench, sell, football F1, hand egg, Sasavish. We're going to get one in a minute. Start, bench, sell. Hold on a minute. Let's see what happens with this free kick first. Kimmich. Good. I went for the shot, and Edison just palmed it out for a corner. We need a Bayern goal before half time. You can't score 3 goals in one half. Sell, bench, start, manscaped, wash and go, sneak. I'm not doing that, Saley. I'll lose a couple of sponsors. Done well there with the free kick, Sane. Start, bench, sell, Upamecano, Maguire and Davinson Sanchez, says Jack. Sell them all. Sell them all. Personally, I would probably, if I was seriously being asked to answer that, I'd struggle between Davinson Sanchez and Maguire. I don't think there's I'd probably bench Maguire, sell Davinson Sanchez, and start Upamecano. I actually have always thought Upamecano's a decent centre back. He was just crap last week. Can I have a high mark? Says Carrot. Good pressing by Man City here. He needed to score that chance, Sane. Musiala goes wide. Kingsley Coman whips the cross in. Again, not very good. Goretzka wild and goes to the keeper. Ow, that really hurts. Idiots. Right on the bloody shin. Benched it. Oh, just bench my shin. I was asked to do bench, start, sell. So bench, start, sell. I was asked to do that for Salah, Gakpo and Nunez. Well, in one way it's very easy because I would start Salah over those two. Who would I bench and who would I sell out of Gakpo and Nunez? Honestly, I'm selling Gakpo and I'm benching Nunez. I really do think there's so much potential with Nunez, and I think we will see it at some point. I've always said I think he should have stayed another year at Benfica, but I understand that, you know, if Liverpool didn't buy him, there was 2 or 3 other clubs that would have bought him. So, you know, they had to buy him when they did. But I do believe he'll become a good player. There was a good ball by Musiala there into Coman. Lovely pass. Sane. Oh, for God's sake. They couldn't hit the ocean from a boat, Bayern. Jake says 15 goals in a bad year is good. Look, I'd take Darwin Núñez at Man United. If Liverpool want to sell him, I probably wouldn't take him now because he's tainted goods, isn't he? Now he's been at Liverpool, but I would have took him. Start, bench or sell, Pineapple Guy, TV License Guy, and Cal the Dragon, says Connor. Hilarious. Start, bench, sell, Haaland, Mbappe and Rashford, says Show. Oh, that's a good one. Haaland, Mbappe, Rashford. Well, I've got to sell Rashford. I like Rashford, but he ain't better than Mbappe or Haaland. So I sell Rashford. I'll bench Haaland, even though he's incredible, and I will start Mbappe because I think Mbappe is the best player out of the 3. I think Mbappe is arguably the best player in the world. Mane's on the bench. Start, bench, sell. Henry, Ronaldinho, Figo, says TJ. Sell Figo. Bench Henry, start Ronaldinho. It should be the other way around, but I loved Ronaldinho, so I'm going to be biased. And Ray's done an old school one. Shearer, Ronaldo, R9 or Henry. I will sell Shearer. I will bench Henry, and R9 has to be at the start because he's probably the most complete striker I've seen in my life. You know, not only could R9 could score goals like Shearer, and he could take people on like Henry. So in a way, R9 was a combination. R9, and don't imagine it in a sex way, but R9 was like Henry and Shearer combined, and a bit of Maradona as well. What a player he was! He was absolutely incredible. I'm not gonna beat about the bush with that one. He was a fine player, and it's a bit of a shame that injuries caused him problems because I don't think he was actually. I think he could have, you know, in the modern game, looked after properly. I think he could have been at the top. You know, imagine if R9 had been at the top for as long as Messi and Ronaldo. Oh, he was a very good player. Here's De Bruyne. Interesting cross. Nobody's marking Grealish. Nathan Ake. Cross. Ooh, good cross as well. Love your content, Mark. Always brightens up my day, says Bob. Thank you very much, Bob. So I've done Arsenal, I've done Man City, and I've done Liverpool. Haven't I? Start, bench, sell. I've done the top. I haven't done Man United yet. Could really do a last year Madrid versus Man City style comeback tonight, says Lenny. And bench, start, sell, Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, says the HBN. Can I have a rest from bench, start, sell? I think I've said it 100 times. It's tiring me out. I'll probably sell Kroos, bench Casemiro, and start Modric. I just think Modric is unbelievable. I mean, what a trio, but that's the whole point, isn't it? Great tackle on De Bruyne there. Bayern, you know what? I think Bayern overplay the passing. They go backwards too much. There's a forward pass and they sometimes miss it. Hi Mark, what's your favourite location for a British holiday, says Marcus. Well, it used to be Cornwall, which is south west England. But I went to Devon last year, Westwood Ho, really enjoyed it. Caught some good weather. A few pints, fish and chips. In the rock pools, loved it. John says Pedri or Bellingham. I've asked for a break, John. I've asked for a break. Nice ball out wide here. Better cross. Musiala, that looked like a foul to me. And he's not giving it. Tuchel can't believe it. Jordan Davies says Snog, marry, avoid, Mr. Start, Miss Tucker and Ten Hag. I'm not answering that, Jordan. Newcastle get Champions League football. Look at this foul on Musiala by Rodri. Gets nothing. Absolutely nothing of the ball. He's a City fan, this ref. I'm telling you. Jack says Newcastle get Champions League football. They'll be there for a while since with the wealth. Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%, Jack. It's just the beginning for Newcastle if they get top four. Uh, 2-0 to Inter. Lautaro Martinez. They're storming into a Milan semi-final. Great ball here. Out on the right-hand side. Pavard's cross is diabolical again. Crossing from the right is awful. Couldn't cross their legs at the moment. Sales says, I caught my sister's boyfriend using my dad's Manscaped. That joke's been used loads of times and it wasn't even funny. You might be telling the truth, but if it's a joke, I don't get it. Brandon wants to talk about Blackburn, Santa Cruz, or Everton's Yakubu. Mate, seriously, read a book. Another crap cross. No one cares about Santa Cruz or Yakubu. I'm just being honest. Do you think Madrid could do it again against City, says Blaze? I don't know. I hope so. I think Man City are favourites, but I hope so. Edison. Oh, he's only hurt his hand. Do you think Liverpool will be back next season, says Angus? I certainly think they'll start the league. I don't think they're going to fold. Joel Morris says, Mark, if Man United women get to the FA Cup final, will you do a watch-along for the game? I won't, no. I'll be a bit of a hypocrite when I don't watch them. We might do one on the channel because I know a lot of them do, but I don't watch it. So at least I'm honest. You don't have to watch it. I mean, I want them to win and fair play, but I don't watch it. So I'd be a hypocrite. A lot of people do though. There's not a joke coming, like, you know, I just don't watch it, and a lot of people do. There's no punchline. It's still 1-0 to Inter apparently, says Charlie. I mean, they're going to win anyway, so. God, we need Bayern to score before half time. I mean, I said this before though. They're not. They have loads of the ball, but they just don't look like scoring goals. They desperately need to buy a striker in the summer. Like, they've got to buy a striker in the summer. They've got. How and why they didn't replace Lewandowski, I'll never know. A person just said his school won the District Cup final. Well done. Well done there. Mark, thoughts on Henrik Larsson, says The Adventures of Milo. Yeah, good player. I'd like to have seen him in his prime at United for longer. Thick Hippo. Well, I've done it based on what I said now. I'm not changing it. I'm not really bothered either. I'll do what I want. And it wouldn't change my answer anyway. I'd still keep Nunez on the bench and start Salah. Buy loan is not... Ray, stop trying to come up with new... Listen to Ray. Listen to Ray here, right? We were doing, and I've stopped now for a bit. I want to rest. We were doing start, bench, sell. Ray's come up with buy loan and not touch De Jong, Osimhen or Kim Min-jae. He's trying to do a transfer one. But it's still the same. I don't get it, Ray. Buy loan, not touch. Well, I see a loan. I'd buy De Jong, I'd loan Osimhen, and I wouldn't buy Kim Min-jae in those options. But I want all three. Kean Donahue, you're a turbo prat, says Andy Himes. You reckon if we bid 90 million for Kimmich, we'd get him, says Everything Product Reviews. Everyone's got a price. What happened to Gusto at Chelsea? He's vanished, says Samuel. Yeah, he's still playing in France. That's why he's not coming till the summer. Daniel says, do you watch anime? I am not going to talk about porn. Oh, there was a pass ignored there again. Again, too slow with the pass, Bayern. If they could get one back, this game would be on. Bayern, the new old Arsenal, always try and walk it in, says DJ. I think City will score first. They nearly just did. Gundogan. Given a penalty now. Oh, this ref. And he's given a yellow card as well. I didn't even see it, but he gave it straight away. What did I tell you about this ref? I mean, what I will say is, why has Upamecano got his arms round his back and then remove it? I think, pardon the pun, pardon the pun on this, Upamecano has single-handedly fucked Bayern in this tie. Why has he got his arms behind his back and then as it goes past him, move it out? It's the it's the definition of a prat. You've done what you need to do, keep your arms behind your back, and then as the ball goes past you, you move your arm out. What a knobhead. I don't know whether we've got any Bayern Munich fans in here, but what an idiot. What an absolute prat. I don't think it's a... I don't think... Look, that wouldn't be given in the Prem. That's the problem. We wouldn't get a penalty for that in the Prem. In the Prem. You know, look at Maguire at the weekend. Look at Pulisic at the weekend. It's not a penalty in the Prem. But Upamecano's a fucking idiot, isn't he? He really is. There's no doubt about that. City must have switched the ref out before kick-off, says Nick. Yeah, he is a shit. Look, that's not a penalty in the Prem. In Europe, it gets given. Look at what happened to Martinez against Sociedad, and that was way less than that. But this referee's been shit all game, and Haaland's missed. He's bloody missed it. He's put it over the bar. Well, game on. What a miss. What a miss. Bayern, sub Upamecano now. Sub him off now before he does any more damage. Rubbish penalty. He's gone down the middle, hasn't he? How do you miss a penalty from there? It amazes me. Absolutely amazes me how you miss a penalty from there. But Bayern just can't. They really can't score, can they? Here's De Ligt. Musiala. They're so indecisive on the in the final third here, Bayern. Apparently Hull are beating Middlesbrough, if anyone cares. Was it a penalty, Mark? Well, let's do a poll. What I will say, in defence of Man City, I think Upamecano, I don't think it is a penalty because in the Premier League we know that's not a penalty. So I think if you watch the Prem, you don't think it's a penalty because you never get that. But what really makes the referee make his mind up is that Upamecano's got his arms behind his back, and then as the shot goes past him, he moves his arm out, which for me is just completely and utterly stupid. So I think the referee's been terrible, but Upamecano's a prat, really. Zane says, bad omens for City when Arsenal come to City. Come on, you Gooners. Looking forward to that next week. I hope Arsenal can get a result. I think that's going to be an interesting game. We need a Bayern goal before half-time. 3 goals in the second half is going to be very difficult. 3 unanswered goals as well. Give credit to Man City. They've done really well in this tie. But I do think if you've watched both games like I have, and many of you have, I think if Bayern Munich had Lewandowski, they'd be at least level. Just got nothing up front. Mark, imagine the hype if Silva was English. Does the universe have an edge? Says, I'm all in. Thanks for your super chat there. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're only about 200 away from 940k. Thanks for getting involved with That's Football. You're all welcome on the road. On the road to 1 million. We will get there. I'm going to do a live show in London when we do. A live That's Football show. That's my aim. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner. 5 minutes to half time, still 0-0. But Haaland did miss a penalty. It could have been curtains. Upamecano has completely ruined Bayern's European campaign and start bench sell Roberto Carlos, Kroll and Maldini. Oh, Jack, I can't. I'm getting tired of it now. You can have too much of a good thing. From there, Mark, penalties are usually from the same place, if I'm not mistaken. This is Will Saunders. Yeah, all right. Pedantic. Bit pedantic. Upamecano's confidence must be through the floor, says Brandon. And so Pep needs Reds to win a Champions League at Barca now, says Nathan Allen. If Haaland scores that penalty, yeah, it's tie over. 4-0. That's never getting turned around. But I don't think it'll get turned around anyway, because I just don't think I can't remember the last time Man City got beat by 3 clear goals. Can anybody give me that stat? Bit random, Mark, but have you ever been to Kent? Says Jen, I think I have. I think I've been to Kent. This game gives me hope that Madrid can have a go at City and have a better chance, says Neil. And here's Kingsley Coman. Slips it into Sane. He should have dived. Should have dived there. Mark, if City get the treble, it's pony. The Invincibles are far more impressive, says Zane. No, when was the last time Man City got beat by 3 clear goals? Liverpool 2018, says Thomas. So 5 years ago. A 5-2 against Leicester, whenever that was. Was that this season? I think it was this season, wasn't it? Or was it in lockdown? Leicester lockdown, says Endom. Thoughts on Slough, Mark, says Beans. Come on. It's 1-1 between Benfica and Inter, by the way. Is the striker shortage just scouting laziness, says Enjoy writing? Well, they bought Mane, didn't they, to be fair? So you can't moan too much about what Bayern did in replacing Lewandowski, because they went with Mane, but Mane's not really a striker, is he? Here's Sane. Shoots from distance. Greedy. This is what he got punched for last week. If Sane could finish, it'd be Mane. We finishing off the team we started yesterday. We are F1 snippets. Half time, we'll carry on with team of the season. I'll talk about that at half time. Mane punched him last week because he kept shooting. That's the story. Delit rang me up. He says, Goldbridge, Mane and him were having an argument. He's booking Edison now. I told him 2 times. People are thinking it's a joke. No, he got punched because he was being so greedy last week. I see why Mane punched Sane. Been dreadful today, says Jim. Well, nobody condones violence, but you'd certainly have a strong word with him, wouldn't you? You'd say, why do you keep shooting? You're not even very good at it. I just fell over the ball there. Chopper mooting. Ronnie Pickering. Would City's treble make them the best Premier League club, says Dang. Whatever, no, because there's no award for it. So the best thing about this is, if anybody ever says that, if Man City win the treble and everyone says it's the best Premier League side ever, I'll just say no, it's not. It's Man United and Arsenal, and we've got more fans than them, so we'll win the debate. So I actually will be so distraught if Man City win the treble, but the best thing is they'll never win the debate of having the best Premier League side ever, because they've got no fans. And we, us and Arsenal fans, even Liverpool fans, will all just gang up on them and say, no, you're not. Oh, we are. Gary Lineker says we are. Shut up. You're not. You got no fans. Shut up. Two minutes added on. I'd love a... Oh, lovely turn. What a turn by Kingsley Coman. He sent Akanji back to Dortmund. Slip it wide. There it's it. He's got to take this chance. He's messed it up. Musiala. Goal. Come on. Koeman. No. God. Man City. Brilliant defending, to be fair. Brilliant defending by Manchester City there. But Musiala got it stuck under his feet. And the chance disappeared. Gundogan. Book Gundogan. Book Gundogan. Don't book Kimmich. Kimmich didn't do anything. That's Gundogan getting Kimmich booked there. I don't think Kimmich did anything. Gundogan controlled it. He fell over. Oh, yeah, he tried to kick the ball. Teammates, aren't they? Gundogan and... is it just because Kimmich is better than Gundogan? Is that what it's all about? I don't know. Mark, end the poll. Penalty. Was it a penalty for Bayern? You're pretty much 50-50 split, really. And I think that's just because in the Premier League it's not a pen. But I actually think they could simplify it in the Premier League by turning it into a penalty. I think if it hits the hand, it should be a penalty. Then there'd be no confusion. Yeah. We're going to carry on with Premier League Team of the Season. Join in the halftime debate. I'm live. You can tell I'm tweeting that, can't you? Right, okay. So we did... well, look, this game's 0-0 at halftime. There's not a lot to talk about, really. Bayern Munich need a miracle, and if they can't put the ball in the back of the net. I wouldn't say it's completely impossible, but they needed a goal in the first half. And City just defend really well at the moment. This is the thing that's annoying about City, and this is the thing that Arsenal have got to deal with next week. It's not just their attacking intent. They're very good defensively at the moment. Who's going to sign Bellingham this summer, says Daniel? I think Bellingham's going to go to City, and I think that's a massive risk, because if they did get done with the charges, nobody can say you didn't know about it. I wouldn't go near City if I was Bellingham, because what if they get done? People will go, well, no one feels sorry for you, Jude. You knew they'd been charged. Oh, they got found guilty. You can't go, oh, I didn't think they would. They told me wouldn't. So I wouldn't go anywhere near City, but I think he will. And I don't think that's an excuse, by the way. And look, if City get found not guilty, they're not guilty. I've got to make that very, very clear. But I hope he doesn't go there. I really do, but we'll see. I just want to change my colour at the back. Let's go for... I'm actually going to go light blue. Not because I like City, but I think they'll win. So we're doing Premier League Team of the Season. Lots of polls coming out at the moment about that. We started it yesterday. Well, actually, we started it last week. So Ramsdale's the goalkeeper. Trippier is the right back. The centre-backs, controversial maybe, but at least it was a pairing, was Martinez and Varane. And the left back was Zinchenko. So there's 2 Arsenal players, 2 Man United players, and a Newcastle player in there. We're going to go for the midfield now. So I think in midfield, you are looking at a 3. We'll go with the midfield 3. And I think midfield 3, correct me if... Well, I want some candidates for a start. But holding midfielder, you've got to go Thomas Partey. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't play holding midfielder. You've got to go Thomas Partey. You've got to go, obviously Casemiro's got to be in there. And Rodri. I think they've got to be the 3. In my opinion. I'm looking at anybody. Enzo Fernandez, get out. Get out. You got no chance. So we'll go, what was it? Partey, Rodri, who has been very good, and Casemiro. There's absolutely no point putting, and I hate to be offensive, but there's absolutely no point putting Paulino in there. It's a wasted vote. No one will vote for him. It's like putting Casido in there at Brighton, and I think Casido should be in there, and I agree. But it's a waste. No one will vote for them. There's just no. You know it. I know it. Nobody will vote for them. So why waste the vote? It's like voting Lib Dem in the elections, isn't it? You're just wasting your vote. At least if you vote the Green Party, you probably use your shit to grow your vegetables and stuff like that. There's a purpose, but Lib Dem never going to get in. Never going to happen. It's it's domination from Casemiro here. 61%, Rodri 25%, and Partey 14%. I actually agree with that one. Let's move on. So number 8. Time of the season. This is where you can have Bruno Guimaraes. I've spelt his name wrong. You can definitely have Bruno G. Well, let's call him Bruno G. So we're talking box to box midfielders here. So you've got Bruno G. I will put De Bruyne in there because a lot of people are saying it's unfair to put De Bruyne with Odegaard. So I'm going to put De Bruyne in as an 8 because he can do it. Xhaka, I will put Xhaka in there as well. A lot of people are saying McAllister. I'll put him in there, but you watch what a wasted vote this is. Okay, there we go. So we've got Bruno Guimaraes. We've got Kevin De Bruyne, we've got Xhaka, and we've got McAllister as the box-to-box role. And De Bruyne can do this. So I quite like the idea of this because I don't think Odegaard should have to go against De Bruyne. And I quite like the idea of a midfield 3 of Casemiro, De Bruyne, and potentially Odegaard. I mean, he might not win. Fred Army says Eriksen. I think Eriksen's had a very good season, but I don't think Eriksen deserves to be in ahead of Bruno Guimaraes or De Bruyne or Xhaka, really. I mean, look, McAllister's in there as a token vote. Let's be honest. Although he has got more than Xhaka. So I threw McAllister in there as a token vote, and he has actually got more votes than Xhaka. Where are the Arsenal fans? I don't know. Scott McTominay's been robbed. What? Oh, bloody hell, I thought you meant in real life then. I get the joke now. Mark, are you going to do your FIFA career mode tonight? No, I don't do it tonight, Jaden. I'll either do it tonight or tomorrow or Friday. Champions League final. I'm sort of building the hype up for it now. De Bruyne has won this one very, very comfortably. So it would be Casemiro and De Bruyne. We now just need the number 10. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, by the way. We're really close to 940k. I'd love to change the number on it. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with That's Football. You're all welcome. Team of the season, number 10. So we've got Odegaard. We got... who else would you have in there as a number 10? How come you stopped uploading FIFA highlights? I do it all on Twitch now, Darren. They're all over there. Where did you go for drinks after the Dublin show, says Kenneth? I went to a bar just round the corner, which was a really quiet bar. I can't remember what it was called. It might have been Doyle's or something like that. It was on some back street. It was really hardly anybody in it. And then the second night, I went across the Liffey to a place that used to be called Meza Maguire's, but it's called something else now. Anyway, and I had a couple. Maddison. You're having a bloody laugh. I'd rather put Andreas Pereira in. And Roddy Pickering. I'm going to put Bernardo Silva in. Maddison. He's so overhyped, Maddison. I'm telling you now. Bruno Fernandes. Okay, we'll go with those 3. Look at that chance for Sane. Rubbish. Favourite film ever, Mark, says Ross. I'd probably say Heat. It's one of my favourite films. I love watching it. I like Jaws as well. They're just both films that I could watch again and again and again and again. I have to watch them every year. Love them. Absolutely love them. Godfather's a good film. I need to watch it. I haven't watched it for ages. Debbie Does Dallas. That joke did not work. Right, this was a joke on tour that didn't work, right? Somebody asked a question on tour. I'm on stage and they said, if you were likening Manchester United to a film, what would it be? And I said, well, Ten Hag's in charge and we're doing quite well, so I have got the idea of a film. Bold genius against evil mercenaries. Ten Hag against the Glazers. Die Hard, Bruce Willis against the terrorists. So that worked quite well. And then I said, but if Solskjaer was in charge, it would be Debbie Does Dallas, because we're always getting screwed. Hardly anyone laughed. And then I changed it the next night and I said, if Solskjaer was still in charge, it would be Pornhub, because we're always getting screwed. And still, it was a little bit more, but not loads. You can't put a price on comedy. You know, some people just don't get it. Odegaard wins 53% of the votes. Good to see that there's no Manchester United bias there, because I'm wearing a Man United tracksuit, I just realised, and I do the United stand. So I'm actually, can I just applaud everybody there for putting Odegaard, because sometimes, like last night when Varane beats Saliba, people were saying, it's just because of the United stand viewers, but if it was, I think Bruno would win this one quite comfortably. So Odegaard wins, which means that our team of the season so far is looking quite good. We've got Ramsdale in goal. We've got Trippier at right back. We've got Varane, Martinez and Zinchenko. Got Casemiro holding, De Bruyne as the box-to-box and Odegaard as the number 10. That's a very, very, very good midfield, by the way. Casemiro, De Bruyne and Odegaard. I'll have some of that on my chips. Absolute sauce. That's absolute sauce, that is. That is absolute sauce. Louise says Odegaard's overrated. I'm a big fan of Odegaard. I mean, he would have been my player of the year in January. Who's my player of the year now? I think you're going to struggle to look beyond Haaland because of all the goals, really. I hate giving it a goal scorer because goal scorers always get the credit, but the amount of goals he's scored, it's very difficult to go beyond Erling Haaland, isn't it? Anyway, which means we need to go to left wing. So give me some left wingers here. Team of the season, left wing. So Rashford's got to be in there, hasn't he? Matoma's got to be in there. I completely agree. I mean, I think Mitoma is a revelation, an absolute revelation. The thinking person's vote, really, Mitoma. What a season. Unbelievable. And what about Mudryk? What about Mudryk? Martinelli, you know what? I think he's actually come of age this season. I'd be happy to put him in. Someone wants to put Vinicius Jr. in. Yeah, he's had a cracking season, hasn't he? He's been so good for Everton. It's unbelievable. Foden. I mean, what's happened to Foden? I forget about Foden. We'll go with those three. We'll keep it to three here. Martinelli, Mitoma, or Rashford. And I tell you what, if I was doing the voting here, and I'm a big fan of Rashford, I'd vote Mitoma. I think fairness-wise, Mitoma's season is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I say vote Mitoma, but again, it's a wasted vote because Brighton will never win. Debbie Does Dallas might be better for Tottenham as they always choke, says Jason. Well, you know what? Can I just shock you, Jason? I've never watched Debbie Does Dallas, so I don't know how much choking she does. I don't know whether it's that sort of gagging stuff that goes on. I don't know. So I can imagine, but I've never watched the film, so I don't know. Is it good? Has it got a good storyline? Is there a twist at the end? Nice to see that Matoma's beating Martinelli, by the way, but it looks like Rashford's going to win this one. We'll give it a couple of minutes. If City win the Champions League, will Haaland get the Ballon d'Or, says Chris. Yeah, he will be a contender, definitely. You can't score that many goals in the best league in the world and not be a contender for it. So, yeah, as boring as it might be, it could happen. Great point here from Knock. He says, how is Martinelli last? He should be first. It's called democracy, mate. Rashford's won this one anyway, so we'll end the poll. But well done to Mitoma with 32% of the vote. Right wing. Give me some players for right wing team of the season. Mark, where do you think McAllister, Casido and Mitoma will go in the summer, says Leo J. I think two of them will still be at Brighton. I think Casido and Mitoma might stay. And I think that Alexi McAllister will go. Right, you've got three options for right winger. You've got Salah, Almiron, and Saka. I don't think Anthony could get it really. I think he's been decent in his first year, but I don't think you could give it to him. I know where I'd vote. I mean, and that's very very dominating. It's Saka with 75% of the vote. So we've completed our team of the season, which is good because we're about to start the second half. So our Premier League team of the season is as follows. It is Ramsdale in goal, Trippier, Varane, Martinez, Zinchenko, Casemiro, De Bruyne, Odegaard, Rashford, Saka, and Haaland. Ben says we need a striker. I ain't doing a poll. I'm not even. There's absolutely. It's the one position we're not doing a poll on. We don't need to do a poll. And don't talk to me about Harry Kane. Erling Haaland wins that. I'm not even going to waste my fingers. Absolute waste of time. We're only 10 subscribers away from 940k, by the way, so please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner, you're very welcome. Should we do manager as well? We may as well do manager in the second half. Manager's interesting. I'm going to do manager. Actually, I'm going to keep manager back until the next half-time watch-along because I think we could do it as quarterfinals. We could have 8 contenders because there's De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, Silva, Ten Hag, Arteta, Pep Guardiola, Eddie Howe, Emery. I think we'll do that as a tournament for manager of the year. Yeah, Lampard's not in it. Relic. If pick 3 Madrid players to United, no Vinicius Junior, says AJM. Valverde. One of their centre-backs, probably Mitoma. And I like Rodrigo. I don't know whether I'd go with him, though. No, forget it. I will go Valverde, Mitoma, and Camavinga. That's what I would do. I've just realised I've said Mitoma. What's his name, the centre-back? You know, the Brighton winger that plays at centre-back for Real Madrid now. What's his name? Militao. That's it. Militao. I'm getting like Bobby Robson in my old age. I know a couple of players that played with Bobby Robson, and I don't know them personally, but I've spoke to a few of them, and they're like, Bobby Robson couldn't get anyone's name. It's age. I'm getting old. Yeah, Militao, Camavinga, and Valverde. That's who I would take. What would you take from Real Madrid? And the reason I do that is because United need future players, and as much as I like Modric and Benzema, they'd be very, very short term. I wouldn't take Courtois as good as he is. I think I'd rather take two midfielders and a centre back. So second half is up and running. Very difficult. Welcome to the Members Club B-Day. Top 3 bands from Manchester, says Brett. Well, Stone Roses, I do like Oasis, and then I quite like, and I think they are from Manchester, I quite like New Order. Probably a bit old for a lot of you lot, and I'm pretty sure they are Manchester based as well, or were. I quite like Shed 7, I think they might be from Manchester as well. Bit more obscure. No, I think Shed 7 might be Leeds, actually. York, from York. There we go. Get out, Shed 7. Joy Division. Well, New Order's the band. Joy Division's the band that New Order became. Is that right? Yeah. There's a cracking remix by Moby. It's a musical interlude when Pacino is hunting down De Niro in the helicopter and De Niro's in the car, and that music is actually, I can't remember what it's called, but it's Joy Division remixed by Moby. I can't remember what the song's called. It's something like, it goes down 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 down. It's brilliant. It's not Love Will Tear Us Apart. Oh yeah. Pacino's hunting De Niro down in one of the most suspenseful parts of the film, listening to Love Will Tear Us Apart Again. Yeah, it really makes the scene. I understand Arsenal want Rice, but how about Bellingham, says Jacko. Well, I think everyone wants Bellingham. New Dawn Fades, that's what it is. It's brilliant. Brilliant bit of music. Listen to New Dawn Fades tonight, just before you go to bed. Put it into YouTube. New Dawn Fades, Heat. You'll know what I'm on about. Here's Pavard. Why didn't you shoot like you did in the bloody World Cup, you prat? Corner. Oh, come on, Bayern Munich. Score a goal. If you can't do it, no one can. They can. Right, corner to Bayern, loads of flags. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I'm a cold heart make out, Mr. Berg, and I'll rip my heart in two. And I'll leave you lying on the bed. I'll be out the door before you wake. Nothing new today. And I think I've seen that movie too. It's a bit shit, that. What are your thoughts on Terminator 2 Judgment Day? Lots of hype. And no, it's like a meat pie with a really good pastry, but not a lot of meat in it. It's like eating a burger and then finding out it's a veggie burger. It's like taking your dream, well, let's say it. It's like taking a dream girl home and finding out it's got an extra. Best sequel ever, says Matty. Which for some people might be a bonus. Better than the first Terminator, says Jim. I think I need to watch it. I prefer Terminator 1. I do. Please a shout out to my United friend Kevin Colgate, says AGM. There you go. Veggie burgers are tasty. I haven't had a veggie burger in about 20 years. I had some veggie chicken and it was lovely. It tastes like chicken. Can you get vegetarian fish? Here's Sane. Here's Coman. Oh, rubbish. They're just never going to score. They're never going to score. So obvious. They're not going to score. Pavard. Little dink to the back post, but there's no one there. Can you get vegetarian fish? There's one for the scientists. Fish is already vegetarian, says Sean. Not, well, I don't know. Because some people don't want to eat fish for the same reason they don't want to eat a cow. Veggie fish is a thing. There you go. It's confirmed. Some people won't eat cheese. And I find that funny because I think if you ask most cows, they don't mind having milk taken out of them to make cheese. But respect. Vegans everything, says Andrew. Exactly, and there will be vegans in the chat. So respect it. Mark, I've just been diagnosed with IBS. Opinions, says Beans. Don't eat beans for a start. Because if they're anything like me, I love baked beans, but I know about it. You watch Succession, Mark. Best show on TV now, says Charlie. I love Yellowstone. I know I've changed the subject there. I do love... That's a bad foul by Aki, isn't it? I do like Yellowstone, but apparently Costner's getting the hump, isn't he? We still want Weghorst versus Haaland. I'll be controversial for you here. You know, I think some people, when you talk about like vegetarianism and all that, people get quite, oh, I love a good steak and all this. Yeah, you know, I voted for Brexit. You know, that sort of nonsense. But if somebody came up with a burger that tasted like a burger and it didn't come from a cow, I'll eat it and I'll stop eating meat. So, you know, there's your meat eater for you. And I'm saying it, I think for the first time, but it's true. I don't think I've ever said it to anyone before, so thanks to the chat. If they came up with you know, at the end of the night, I could go to a takeaway and get really greasy chips with some chicken kebab meat. And it wasn't real chicken, but it tasted like it. I'll have it. And the chickens can just go and lay their eggs, which I think they're happy to do as well. Lee says, hairy axe wounds last night and veggie fish tonight. It's called Vish, apparently, Lee. It is such a thing. That's deep, Mark. Truly thought-provoking. Well, Jake, have I not just solved the problem? If they invented a burger that tasted exactly like beef, but was healthier for you and didn't involve killing beef, or otherwise known as cows, why wouldn't we do it? If it was better for the... I nearly said better for the country. If that was better for the world and better for your diet and all that, why not do it? I'm not bothered. I don't know what cows would be used for, though. I mean, what about all those cows? What would you use them for? Because guarantee if someone thinks of synthetic beef, they'll think about synthetic milk. It's a bit like oil, isn't it? Petrol. At some point, they will think of something like, we'll be putting water in our cars and doing it like hydrogen or something like that. You need the nutrients, says Mark. Yeah, but you can synthesize them as well. And I'm not talking about the keyboard thing from the 80s. You can get all your nutrients in your bloody Rice Krispies now. Focus on the game. I'm trying to focus on the game, but Bayern can't bloody score. Oh, for God's sake. It's literally just gone across the goal line. Here's Haaland. I think City are going to do them on the break. And they have. Upamecano again. That's it. I've got to tweet it. Upamecano is crap. Over. Game over. You reap what you sow. Why did he pick up Upamecano? He slipped over again. It's just bad defending. It's brilliant by Haaland. He nods the ball down to De Bruyne. But look at Upamecano. What the fuck's he doing? He's having a lie down. What does he do? No, go back again. Don't want to see De Ligt trying to cover for him. He actually, watch him. He falls over. What's he doing? What is he doing? He's an international footballer and he falls on his arse. He's crap. He's so shit. Never buy him at Man United. Don't buy him. He's rubbish. He's so bad. Oh, I can't believe it. If you take Upamecano out this game, it's probably 0-0. So bad. Unbelievably bad. City versus Real it is. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, to be fair, Man City had this one in the first leg. I was just trying to make it interesting for everybody tonight. But he's rubbish. I would rather Harry Maguire play. That's not a joke. I'm not even taking the piss. I would rather Harry Maguire was playing against Haaland tonight and in the first leg. He wouldn't have made the mistakes Upamecano's made. I mean, literally, if we've got any Bayern Munich fans watching, as a neutral watching this game, and we've watched both legs, this is totally on one player. He has absolutely cost you this game. I don't know what he's been like all season, but he cost you, I think he cost you all 3 goals in the Etihad, and he's cost you another one tonight, and a penalty. I've never seen such a terrible display from one player over 2 legs. Grealish is a diver, isn't he? He's laughing behind his arm there, surely. I don't know whether Real Madrid can beat Man City. I think Bayern Munich have played. You know what? If you take up Upamecano off and just put a decent centre back on, and then you put a centre forward up front, I think Bayern Munich would have given City a really good game. I think over both legs, when you look at the stats there, they've had the possession again, they've had more shots again. Man City have really just countered brilliantly. Upamecano, says Thomas. I like that. Inter have scored again. You do know the final is the semi-final. Man City against Real Madrid. That's the final. The final is going to be very one-way. I won't watch the final. If it's Man City against Inter or AC Milan, I won't do a watch-along. I'm going out. I won't do it. I can't put myself through it. I can't watch Man City annihilate somebody in the final to win their first Champions League. It'll make me throw up. I won't do a Champions League final watch along if it's Man City against Inter or AC Milan. Absolutely not. I'd have to be paid a hell of a lot of money. I'd literally have to be flown over to the ground and pampered and, given an interview with Pep and, I'd have to have big incentives to do that. Absolutely no way I'm sitting in my pyjamas watching that. Not on a Saturday night. No. Not doing it. That would be them winning the treble as well, because we'd know they've won the league and the FA Cup by then. So fuck that, no way. Absolutely not. Karis, it's not being bitter. It's just not putting. Man City fans should enjoy the fact that I refuse to do it. No. I wouldn't. I just can't do it. What was for tea today, Mark? I had a lovely tea today, Blue. So it's like this sticky chicken sauce and chicken in coconut rice. Oh, it's just... And then some pak choy. Ooh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. The trouble was, I was a bit full up from the Easter egg I'd ate before, which I didn't tell anybody. So, yeah. There's still lots of Easter eggs in the house, and I can't help it. Man City are a joke. They're fabricated, says Nee. Calvin Phillips is warming up. Well, they could bring me on now. Abdul says, creating fake history and buying more fans. Well, if it works... Apparently, you can get a Beyond Meat burger from Tesco. It's great if you want to try a meat-free burger. I'm going to try it. You'll be able to get synthetic anything soon. People are going to laugh about this. You won't be laughing when it comes true. I don't think it's going to be that long before you can buy a synthetic partner and kids and stuff like that. I can't believe what AI can do already. Like Liam Gallagher has done an album today that he didn't even know he'd done because AI voice has created him singing songs. I think it's messed up as well, Ronnie. Give it a couple of years, there might be a fake AI Goldbridge that's created from all the hours of content that I've done that they can get him to do a show. City ups. I mean, it's already happening in football with Man City. I nicked that from the chat. I'd be very worried if I was a teenager today, because at least I'm already loaded. At least successful people have already made their money. We've made our money. What are you lot gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna be a rock star. No, you're not. We're gonna create one on AI. Oh, I'm gonna write books. No, you're not. I can get the computer to write it in 10 seconds. Oh, I'm going to be a script writer. No, you're not. You're definitely not. Oh, I'm gonna be a computer programmer. You're not. You're not. We've got a computer that can do that. I'll tell you what, Terminator's going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to be fighting robots in 20 years' time. They're all going to be chasing you around with their synthetic Big Macs. And you're going to be all living underground like rats, being hunted down by Liam Gallagher singing robots, eating synthetic burgers, and writing movies in 5 seconds. Hi Mark, hope you're well. What's your Chinese order? Says Ollie. I've already done it. Egg fried rice, prawn crackers, sweet and sour chicken balls, and sweet and sour Cantonese style chicken, and probably beef chow mein. I can't believe what Upamecano did before that Haaland goal. I mean, literally, if you were playing, if you'd had 20 pints on Saturday night and you're playing for your shitty pub team and someone played you through one-on-one and the centre-back still wouldn't fall on his arse like that. He is absolutely dreadful. Check his bank account. Why is Muller not being played, says Dan? Because he's about 49 now. Ryan says it's very tough for the youth, especially with house prices skyrocketing. No, I'm only joking. I'm going to give you some positivity here. You know, everyone's obsessed with AI at the moment, but AI can never work like the human brain. It can't. It's impossible. Our mistakes are our strength. Our spontaneity is our strength. Our authenticity can never be replicated. Our moods, you know, a computer cannot get in a bad mood because their hamster's died and write a song about loss. You know, a computer cannot experience what it's like to have the highest highs and write a book about it and the lowest lows. They can't. All AI is doing is taking information that's out there and regurgitating it in a repackaged way. All it's doing is it's like a manager copying Pep Guardiola with an open checkbook. Spontaneity and creativity won't come from an AI. Artificial intelligence can't do it. So you've got to be a groundbreaker. That's what you've basically got to do. Because everybody's doing their exams and theses now by writing a sentence into ChatGPT, aren't they? Well, that's not authentic. It's just lazy. You're letting the computers win. Oh, look at me. I'm really clever. I did my homework on ChatGPT. Yeah, what are you going to do now? Sit and watch fucking useless twats on TikTok, you know, shagging a... I don't think they do that, actually. It'd be bland. But you know what? Juggling with an egg. Like, authenticity is the key. Creativity is the key. AI can't create that. You can write a better script, you can write a better film, you can write a better song than that will ever do. If you can be arsed, that's the problem. Take the time to learn something and be good at it. Don't go down the shortcut route. Someone has to operate the AI. Tomorrow adults are basically going to be glorified computer programmers, says Nick P. Welcome to the Members Club. Always united, never divided. And also, footballers will be fine. You won't be able to get a robot that plays like that. Synthetic family members, that's no way to talk about the Kardashians, says Stephen. I used to love One Foot in the Grave, Jack, actually. I'm a Chelsea fan. I want your take on our game. Was Frank really to blame when we got dominated the first half and had great chances the players missed? Yeah, because he's not a very good coach, not from. What was that game? You might be old enough to remember. There was a game that used to be on the Mega Drive and the Amiga. And I can't remember what it was called. It was basically football, but you threw around a metal ball. And it was people, but they were robotic people. And it was like football, but it wasn't football. You threw this thing and it was futuristic. I can't remember what it was called. Speedball. That's what it was called. Speedball. I'm going to Google it. Speedball. That's the future. Speedball. I want the Speedball game. Yeah, I've Googled it and it's got a bloody one of them stupid Rocky things where you go like that. Speedball game. Amiga. Show me some images. Oh yeah, that was it. They were all like robotic people. Yeah. I remember it. Got nothing on cannon fodder. I used to cry when I played cannon fodder. You run around with four men, like sensible soccer men, but you had to go and do these missions, right? And every mission you did, you get a higher rank. And then when one of your men died, they got replaced by a new recruit. And at the end of that level, there'd be a funeral for your person who died. And if you'd had him for loads of missions, he'd be like really high ranking and he'd get a really big grave. Oh, it'd make me cry. It really pissed me off when you got to like level 20 and you had someone like, you know, some Sergeant Major guy who'd been there from the episode 1. And then he goes and walks on a booby trap. You go, you bloody prat! You bloody prat! Or he gets caught by a stray bullet, just walks into it. But I used to get really sad. And the music was really sad as well. That was a great game. That was a great game. I played the game. That was a great game. It's very old though. Graham Souness probably did play it. Should we do some more bench start sell? Give me a Chelsea one. Bench, start, sell. Come on. Speedball 2 was the game I played, yeah. I don't have Tourette's, no. Probably have got some. There probably is some gap analysis you could do on me. I'd probably be a psychiatrist's wet dream. That's not what I meant to say, but dream. But give me Chelsea. Give me 3 players. Kepa, Mount, and Sterling. I'd sell them all. No, give me 3. Well, it's hard, isn't it, at Chelsea because they haven't really got any players that you'd want to keep really at the moment. Frogger was a great game. I used to love Frogger. I used to play that at primary school on the BBC. BBC computer. Remember that? Had red F keys, white body. I tell you what I think is embarrassing. The fact that Bayern Munich have played 2 games and not scored says everything about them. Streets of Rage was a good game. Mudryk, João Felix and Madueke. Well, I'll sell Madueke because I don't know why they bought him in the first place. I'll bench Mudryk because I think he hasn't shown his potential yet. And I'll start João Felix. Even though he's a loanee for Chelsea, I think he's the best of the 3. I think João Felix is a really good player playing in a shit team. You put João Felix behind a striker, you get a very different João Felix. You put João Felix in the team with the pressure of scoring goals, and that's what goes wrong. Nick P says, do you remember Leisure Suit Larry? It was on the Amiga. It was kind of targeted to adults, but you would chat to girls on them and take them on dates. Nick, I do not remember that at all. You've often criticised the referees in this channel. Would you be for robot referee? Not now, but in the future, or will that create more problems? Says Hey. Look, the great thing about officiating is it's always going to be subjective. Referees will always make mistakes. I think the problem with the football game at the moment is that we accept the mistakes, and that, I mean, God, people accept mistakes so much that they want to get rid of VAR. The problem you've got at the moment is VAR is not being used properly, and the rules are bad. I basically think if the ball hits your arm below the wrist, below the elbow, just give a bloody penalty. Let people moan about, oh, it's not fair, it was accidental, I didn't mean it. I don't care. At least we all know it's a penalty. I think that's the problem at the moment. Do you agree the Premier League has started to ruin the Champions League? City are walking this, as Darren. Well, you make a good point, Darren, actually. The Premier League is the best league in the world. And, you know, this is what Perez's problem is, isn't it? He says that the Premier League has basically become the Super League. Paperboy was a bloody good game. Oh, I used to play that at school. Put your floppy disk in. You used to have these floppy disks that you'd put into this thing and it'd go. That was like what that's the noise that the computer would make when you put the floppy disk in. You put it in and go. I mean, imagine that now. You know, PS5 makes a noise and you think it's broke. I remember games on the Amiga. Championship Manager used to take half an hour to load up. And there was no porn in them days. You know, even that wouldn't be long enough. You put it in, it'd take half an hour to load up every time you bloody played it. There's nothing else to do in the 90s. You know, what are you going to do for half an hour if it's raining outside? Read a book. Once you've read all of Roald Dahl's books, that was it. Still can't score. Oh, they've scored now, but I think he was offside. Yeah. Offside. I can't believe it. Why was Michael Oliver refereeing Al Nazir last night? And why is that okay? Sensible World of Soccer is probably the best game I ever played, Dwight. It gave me the most excitement. I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Christmas Day, was it 95 it came out? Maybe 94? I remember my first goal. I was crap at it. I think I played. I was like game 12. I'd lost every single game. I had a corner and I slid at it with Mark Hughes and it went in off his toe. And it was like a completed life. There we go. Look, extra touch again for Bayern. Rubbish. I did play Streets of Rage, Axel. I tipped Bayern Munich to win the tournament, so I'm out. Quarterfinals, I tipped Bayern Munich to win the Champions League back in August, so I can't hide from my predictions video. Who remembers that crap game on the Mega Drive? Oh, a couple of my friends had it, and I wasn't friends with them after that. Echo the Dolphin. Pratt the Dolphin. Oh my God. At least James Pond was a fish that was meant to be a bloody James Bond. Echo the Dolphin, right? Oh, that was the first hint of what do they call it? What do they call those people who are bloody airy fairy? You know what I mean? Fence sitters. No, I can't remember. I've used the word loads of times. I can't remember what it is now. Oh, what's the word? Not Greenpeace. Pratt's, yeah, no. Snowflakes, that's it. That was the first hint of Snowflake Society. There was basically, we went through computer games when I was younger, especially when I was like between the age of 10 and 13. There used to be magazines called Mean Machine. There'd be loads of magazines about games, and you know, a game would be coming out this November and you'd be getting screenshots of it in this week's Mean Machines about, you know, the new Street Fighter or whatever like that. Gaming was massive. I mean, it's still massive now, but like you had magazines and everything dedicated to it, right? And this game came out called Echo the Dolphin. Oh, God. A couple of my mates got it. And we used to do swaps. So I had Desert Storm, I think it was called. EA did this game about Desert Strike. It was around the Gulf War. I mean, they didn't care then. There was no Snowflake Society then. So basically, the Gulf War had just happened, or was happening, and EA brought a game out called Desert Strike, where you were basically an Apache helicopter flying around the desert doing missions, saving prisoners of war and blowing up. Basically, it was basically blowing up Iraq. That's what it was all about. I'm sorry to say it was. And I had Desert Strike. It was a bloody good game, but this guy said, "Can I borrow Echo? Do you want to swap for Echo the Dolphin over the weekend?" And I was like, "Oh, go on then." Everyone keeps going on about it. Oh God, it was just a bloody Pratt dolphin swimming around the sea, talking to whales, jumping up in the air, coming back down. I don't. To this day, I don't know what you did on Echo the Dolphin. Bloody Pratt. I don't think there was any missions. You know, I don't think there was any. I think if you saw a shark, you had to run away. It was. I can't understand that. There was 2 lads at school who loved it, and that was it. I'm not being friends with you anymore. Echo the bloody dolphin. It makes me mad now. I'd forgotten about it for about 30 years. Echo the dolphin. Bloody hell. Give me back Desert Strike and never come round my house again. I played the game, says Fennec. It was one of the hardest games ever made, says Steve. Yeah, it was hard bloody to even play it because it was so shit. Golden Axe was brilliant. I loved Golden Axe. They made 5 Echo games, says Ruben. You know what? That's the sort of game that's definitely got a Reddit page. Moonwalker. Oh, Moonwalker the game was brilliant. It was bloody hard as well. I'd never play it again because it's Michael Jackson going around saving kids, which is basically what Moonwalker the film was like. But at the time we didn't know. And Well, they've got to give a penalty here against the Kanji. They have to. They've got to give it because they gave the other one. But I don't think this is a pen. Gareth Griffiths, thanks for joining. Welcome to the Members Club. Yeah, he's got to give the pen. And he's going to give it. Yeah. So Bayern look like they might score. It's not a penalty for me. But I don't think either of them were penalties. Thanks everyone who subscribed tonight, by the way. Bottom right hand corner to do it. I'm just going to have a look at the weekend. What games we might do at the weekend, because it's the FA Cup, isn't it? I'm definitely going to... I can't wait for Man United Brighton. I mean, of course, I'm doing Man United Sevilla tomorrow night if you want to tune in on the United Stand. But... yeah, I'm definitely not doing Man City against Sheffield United. That can get in the bin. That's the biggest waste of time ever. I mean, that's a big waste. That's a waste of time for Sheffield United. It's just the most pointless game ever. I'm not doing Fulham Leeds at 12:30. I might do the 3 o'clocks on Saturday. I quite enjoy doing the Saturday 3 o'clocks. I think I'll do Saturday 3 o'clock. Yeah, quite like doing that because I can't do. I'm doing Man United 4:30 on Sunday. Yeah, okay. We'll do the 3 o'clocks on Saturday, and then we can do Manager of the Year. Straight down the middle, 1-1, Kimmich. Of course, this time next week, we're definitely doing Arsenal, Man City, 8 o'clock this time next week. What a game that's going to be. Mark, please give my friends Sam and Kai a Scooby-Doo, says James Walker. Scooby-Doo. Haven't done any Scooby-Doo today. I haven't had a stand. I haven't had a stand-up in ages. Should have done Inter against Benfica. Nah. That side of the draw is dead. That final, either Inter or AC Milan against Man City or Real Madrid. That will be like Man City against Sheffield United on Saturday. An absolutely dead final. Are you going to do the Arsenal game on Friday? Daniel, I don't want to jinx it really. That game has to be a win for Arsenal, and I think unless you're an Arsenal fan, I don't really see the point in watching it because I think that's got to be a straightforward Arsenal win at the Emirates, and I don't really want to watch it in case it sort of prompts fate that bit of focus on the game. Let's cause a surprise. I don't remember the game Larry on the Amiga. Dogs of War sort of rings a bell, Glenn. I remember, I'll tell you what a film I quite like. Is it Dog Soldiers with the werewolves in it? That's quite a good cult film. I can't keep lying anymore. You predicted Nunez to win the Golden Boot. There you go, I said it. No, I didn't, Mazab. I didn't predict Nunez to win the Golden Boot. I predicted Haaland to win the Golden Boot. It's on video. I predicted Bayern Munich to win the Champions League, so I'm out with that. But I predicted Man City would win the Premier League, and I predicted that Haaland would win the Golden Boot. I didn't put Arsenal in the top 4. I can't remember who. I think I might have predicted Man United to win a trophy. I think I might have done. Mark, I'm worried City will pump us next Wednesday, says Constantine. You've got to do it for football. What's the worst sofa to get a United fan? A Manchester City, says Dance. 1-2-1-1. That burns. It was so bad. Oh, Tuchel's been sent off. 2 yellow cards. It was always going to happen. Sheffield United are going to batter City. This is pathetic. Absolutely not. Your two best players are City players who can't play. Doyle and McAtee, innit? Flashback on Sega, True Gamers, City win, it's not same. Juve, Barca, Bayern when they were good. Be soon, Prem wins every Super League. Worth it, says Darren Turner. Look, the Premier League cannot be criticised because they built a system that works. I'm really serious about this. The Premier League, we haven't dominated the Champions League. We haven't had a Premier League side win the Champions League last year. So we're not dominating the Champions League. Just because, and we haven't won it this year either. So to talk about the Premier League's going to dominate the Champions League, well, there's only one Premier League side in the semi-finals. So I'm not having that. And the reality is, all Perez and his crew who get jealous of the Premier League, if you're being honest, it's because they didn't build their leagues. Like Real Madrid and Barcelona wanted to hoard all the money. They didn't share it out. The Premier League shared the money out more fairly, and that's why you've got teams like Brighton and Aston Villa. You know, the Premier League model could have been followed by Serie A, Bundesliga, and La Liga, and they decided not to. They decided to go down the model that maintains the status quo of Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Barcelona, and now they're moaning, going, oh, it's not fair, the Premier League's taken over Europe. But they could have built their own Premier League. Darren says, do you think winning the Champions League is the same nowadays? I think that's a great point. Does the Premier League start to become more glamorous than the Champions League? If it dilutes, you're probably right. Back in the 80s, Paul Stewart negotiated his Man City contract with the manager, a scrap metal dealer, and the bus driver. Different times, says Kenneth. I don't think that was a foul on Grealish, by the way. I thought he got the ball. And Dia is our best player going to the top, says Pathetic. Grealish is going to the corner when you're 4-1 up. Why? Why? Why are Man City playing in the corner? You're 4-1 up with a minute to go. Oh, stay unbeaten. Yeah, I see. Oh, yeah. Fair point. Fair point. Fair point. I think the ref's been crap. Yeah. Not necessarily biased to Man City, but I think he's just being shit in general. I think the Gelsman will go to Chelsea. Are you going to do a match reaction? I very rarely do a Man City match reaction because the views are always shit. There's just no. It's not worth It's not worth the 10 minutes it takes to film it. They're rubbish. Like, and especially in a game like this. I'm not even joking. Like, if it's a Chelsea game, a Liverpool game, an Arsenal game, it's always worth doing it because you'll get a lot of interaction. But I'm serious. Doing a match reaction for a Man City win, it's not worth it. That's true. Look at the stats on the channel. It's absolutely true. So yeah, I'll get into bed earlier tonight. And let's have a look. Liverpool, City, Liverpool. I didn't do one last week. Yeah, I didn't do one last week either. I did predict City would go out, by the way. I did a video, City going out, my Champions League quarter-final predictions. I'm not doing a semi-final prediction. I can't afford to jinx it. Five minutes added on. No, look, fair play to Man City. 3-3. 90 plus 5, Benfica have equalised. It won't be enough time, though. The other leagues could learn from how the Premier League is run, says LJ, and implement the same method to their league. They could watch their leagues thrive in the coming years, but they're stuck with the money Super League idea, says LJ. Yeah, that's what I would do. Look, if something's way ahead of you, you can't just switch a button to be where they are, because a lot of things that are way ahead of you will have put the work and the groundwork in. So you've got to put the groundwork in, but they don't want to. They want a quick fix. Real Madrid want to start a Super League tomorrow so they can have the money tomorrow. They don't want to build La Liga. La Liga, I used to watch La Liga. I'm not interested in it anymore. I'd go back watching it. You know, if La Liga started having teams like, Valencia and Villarreal and Real Sociedad, and they were genuinely competitive, I'd watch it. Mark, I'm from the future, says Jeff. For all your specky predictions, you've forgotten the script was always set for Arsenal. Football gods won't let them win easily. They win at City and every game after that, says Jeff. Okay, well, I hope you do, mate. Upper Maguire, says Decor. Mark, yellow jerseys appear fastest, says Desert Haunter. Bravo to Benfica for fighting back. We're too late. If Luis Enrique goes to Tottenham, Neon, it would be absolutely incredible. Absolutely fantastic. But look, well done to Man City for winning. They've certainly can't be they can't be criticised when they've won the game 4-1 on aggregate. But what I would say is, if Upamecano had a good game in both games, it'd be a very interesting tie. And if Bayern Munich had a striker, I think it would have been an even more interesting tie. So from Bayern Munich's point of view, I'd be very frustrated. I'd be very frustrated knowing that one centre-back has cost you so much in 2 games. And I'd be very frustrated that we didn't have a striker. Oh, here's a good one. Keep, start, bench, Brighton, Bournemouth and Man City. Well, I'll start Brighton. I'll bench Bournemouth. And I'm not a fan of Bournemouth. I don't think they should be anywhere near the Premier League with a ground that's only got 11,500 in it. And I'll sell Man City. 100%. Get them out. Send them to the National League with Wrexham. Let them go on world tours playing each other. Can Bayern find a winner? It won't be a winner in the tie. Still a minute to go. Pavard. I don't think they're going to do it. So Man City will remain undefeated. Whoever wins the semi wins it all. Yeah, 100%. Real Madrid, Man City. I don't think Man City have played well tonight, but I don't think they've had to. It's a little bit like Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge last night. It's a very difficult thing to go away from home when you've already got the tie, 2 or 3-0. You don't need to be expansive. We'd have seen a very different Man City side if they'd have been drawing or losing. So I wouldn't read anything into Man City's performance tonight, because I think it's just job done performance. Porto, Bournemouth, Burnley, keep, sell, bench, says DJ. And David says City are finished, highest view count on the channel. I guarantee it's not. Videos. Popular. Oh, it is. Man City are finished 2 months ago. That was because, you know what? That's not because Man City play good football or people support Man City. That's because everybody wants them to be finished. That's when they got the charges. So the most viewed video on this channel is called Man City is finished. And that's when they got the charges, 100 charges by the FA that everyone's gone quiet about. You notice how the media are terrified to say anything about it, even though they have been charged. That's fans of other clubs wanting them to be finished. That's not Man City fans. They don't want to watch that. But look, Man City, I really think they're favourites to win the Champions League. I'd put them as favourites ahead of Real Madrid. There's no doubting they're a good side. I think they're favourites in the FA Cup. I think they're favourites in the Champions League. And I think they're favourites in the league. And look, I'm old enough to remember Man United winning a treble. So I think ever since they got that charge, it's galvanised them. It's made them have this siege mentality. And you see it on the pitch. That Man City side at the moment is just well and truly locked in this siege mentality of togetherness, and it's very dangerous, really very dangerous for everybody else. Jinx it, I think Man City are going to win the treble. If my jinx powers mean anything, and they have done a lot of damage, I think Man City are going to win the treble. There you go. Let's see if the jinx can work. It won't work when I don't want it to work, when I want it to work, but there you go. But I do. I think they're the favourites in the FA Cup. I think they're the favourites in the league, and I think they're the favourites in the Champions League. And really, all they've got to do is beat Real Madrid, Arsenal, and they'll win that. And then, I mean, look, we've got to get to the final. Mark, but Brighton are good enough to beat Man City as well. Mark, would you take Southampton goalkeeper Bazuna at United as backup? Yeah, I would. I would do, Leo. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. And I will be... Our next watch-along is going to be the 3 o'clocks on Saturday, where we're going to do Manager of the Year. We've done Team of the Season. Our Team of the Season for That's Football is Ramsdale, Trippier, Varane, Martinez, Zinchenko, Casemiro, De Bruyne, Odegaard, Saka, Haaland, Rashford. We're going to do Manager on Saturday. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll have some content for you on here tomorrow as well. Take care, sleep well, or whatever you're doing, and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Good show tonight.